This food. Miami as well. Actually, maybe this is the way you cover things. That is
Well, we go a week without getting
I think they're basically the same.
I actually would recommend
we
it.
have 1.5 good
I don't do it because I don't.
Like the same.
I'm terrible already.
Mr. London, we said 10?
Yeah. Most of the time,
It said 10.
right now. I gotta write this down.
Just said my alarm.
You want me to start with the start with the body round? Yeah. I was island. That drive engine. I repositioned it. Don't but if I were to write it I know, I'm gonna tell you that. I trust you. Yeah. I'll just see your thoughts. That could work. Because you could say that they're passive. It was really bad. I guess if you want to look at it from a different angle.
And then you're gonna pop the elevator, and then there's gonna be like a sign, and then you're gonna go inside. You're gonna keep going straight, and then going straight, and then once you hit the end, you're gonna turn. It's a long point. You're gonna turn to the left, and then when you turn to the left, you're gonna keep going to like a.
Where is it? They're locked up. I know where they're locked up.
They would have been below it.
Before the lock. Okay.
Just
They have to be
Miami has no chance.
like it being worse than in college. Felt like worse in college.
I don't argue.
I don't like this guy's.
Is Penn State better than these guys? LSU better than these guys?
I can't like over the first 4 games. This was their worst game, and they still put up 26 points.
I can't remember if
Did I get it?
Okay, 19.
they'll drop.
Depends on how you look at it. And the fact that you can play against a rival. They're going to play tough for once.
Back with the trucks, man. The back of
Fletcher the last touchdown. Yeah. I mean, it was.
I think Marty
She was a writer for the.
put more sauce on it.
Yeah, like,
What an exclamation
like
point.
exactly.
And I work for him. I should know. Shells.
Writing anywhere.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, I just,
Nothing though. Judy Batista. Come on, dude. La gente no se sabe cuenta porque yo tenía pelo desde entonces.
you're a little discouraged.
A little banana. It's one of my pet peeves. She works for the NFL. She runs on TV.
You should. Go down this, and then there's gonna be like a sign, turn it. It's not gonna make sense.
apologize for the delay. We appreciate you guys being here. Certainly the locker room, those guys they're pretty fired up. You know, this game means a lot to us. It means a lot to our alumni, the fan base, and certainly we always felt they were a very talented team. They've got a lot of really good players, and they were always a play or two away from being really, really good. And anyway, thought our guys kept their composure when we started getting in a rut for a little bit there with the offense. The defense played off the charts football again, and I'm sure there's lots of questions. I have all kinds of crazy statistics up here to go over, so I'll just wait for the questions.
All right, first of all, the defense, Florida hadn't been held to a yardage number that low in 25 and a half years or something crazy. And even on a night where the offense, had to earn everything, you still win by 3 touchdowns. I just feel like every week you get asked some version of how do you like where you are, but how do you like where you are right now after this one?
Well, we don't get to play these guys again. This game should be on the schedule every year. It should be. It's a shame that it's not. So we want to make sure that we took advantage of the opportunity. The part that really sticks out for me on the defense, which I didn't even realize till after, was 0 for 13 on third down. I've never been part of an organization that's held a team to that particular statistic. In the first half, I believe they had 21 plays and 40-plus yards of offense. And we had started offensively really good, but we got in that rut, 5, 6, 7 possessions with only 3 points. So I like our progress. That's the best way to state it. I love the fact that we're doing a much better job of blocking out all that noise and that rat poison that people always talk about, and that we're focused on doing our job and doing right and playing for each other and for the University of Miami. So we've come miles, but we have miles and miles to go.
Coach, the run game, Marty and Fletcher both, I think it was almost 200 yards between the two of them. With Carson not playing as he probably wants to play for them, and to be able to have them to rely on, and for you guys to be able to see how much they can produce when needed.
Yeah, the shame of it is that Marty actually had a touchdown. That was a mistake, which again, it happens. No one's, well, yeah, we're mad, but you know what I mean? It's just, it happens. Those two guys have been extremely physical. They've been extremely diligent about their craft. They do a great job getting their pads down and getting the muddy yards. Florida plays a lot of guys in the box, right? They come with different pressures. They stem from 4 down to odd. So they give you a bunch of different looks, and typically there's an extra hat that ends up in the box. So they did a good job getting those muddy yards after contact. And when we had even numbers, I thought they did a good job of, getting some, 10, 12, 14-yard gains that helped us create, that second half separation there towards the end.
It was only one game, but can you pinpoint anything about Carson and Ibel?
I think they're really good at coverage. I think they spread the net really well. I think their combo coverages, their match coverages, they did a good job, and they've done a good job. They've held, I think they allowed 1 touchdown or 2 in about 3 games or so. So you got to give them credit too, okay? I'm sure there's, when we watch film, we saw the iPad. There's some throws we want to have back, but like anything else and like anything else Carson has done here, when it doesn't go quite the way he wants it to, he continues to just forge forward. And I got to mention the crowd. That was awesome. We asked for an asylum. They gave us that. And they affect the game. They impact the game. They impact our energy. They impact our players. Certainly impact all of the 100-plus recruits that are here today. So a huge shout out to them.
You talk a lot, Coach. You talk a lot about.
Excuse me, we're going. People are big.
Okay.
We're going to go to Adam Licht see.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Mario, you mentioned the team kind of getting in that rut, second, third quarter and such. Just how much of that, you said they kept their composure, how much of that's player-led, how much of that is coach-led? Just how do you balance that?
Well, that's program-led, you know what I mean? We had a lot of pre-snap penalties. That's the ultimate killer, right? You get off of schedule, all of a sudden you got a good 4-yard run, and it's 2nd and 11 instead of 2nd and 6. So when you get off, I think we had 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken. That's very uncharacteristic of us. And we've done that now for a couple of weeks, and we will fix that. Those guys have a lot of pride. So, honestly, it's everybody led. Certainly, I don't think anyone in there cares about receiving the credit for it. I think those guys just are so cohesive and do everything so together that they just always find a way.
And you mentioned those pre-snap penalties, like the weird snap infractions. Did you see what was happening there?
Yeah, they're moving, they're stemming, and their move call is pretty pronounced. Now, it is legal. There's no complaining here. I'm not trying to say they did anything illegal. It is just, it triggers a certain type of reaction by an offensive lineman at times. And we've been very disciplined about that before. And we've got to get back to those ways. And I know some of those guys are kicking themselves in the rear for that, but we'll get that fixed. I thought their response to start digging in their heels and sinking their hips and moving piles in the fourth quarter, I thought they took over the fourth quarter from a physicality standpoint and really did a good job finishing drives and pounding the ball.
You mentioned this game is going away, and obviously people would like to see it continue, but how much did you all stress being the team to come out on top knowing you will have bragging rights? I don't want to say forever, because it may be played again, but how important was it to win?
The rivalry itself took care of all the intensity that comes with a rivalry. You know, they got word and they got wind that this was the last regular season one scheduled, at least for now. So that adds a lot to it. Yeah, bragging rights forever. You know, we've been able to maintain home victories against them, I believe, since 1977. Okay, that's really significant. You don't want to be the team that gave away that win. But I do believe this. I think what had most everything to do with the way that we dug in and played better towards the end was just playing for each other. I really believe that. You know, these guys, they understand the importance of the rivalry. There's a lot of bad blood, but there is respect. I thought both sides, they went after each other. It was physical, but you didn't see a lot of, you saw some shove, but you saw football. Guys trying to knock each other out, and that's fine. But all in all, I think you saw two teams that were going at it that have respect for each other, but absolutely hate each other. And it was good to come out on top.
Coach, we'll go to Gary Farmer from Kingsport.
Hey, Mario, I don't know if you've had a chance to see the viral moments of Pat McAfee at the pool at the end of game day, jumped off the high dive, threw up the U in the pool, and now you cap it off with this victory tonight. Can you just talk about what the entire day, a lot of it on national television, means to the voters?
Well, hopefully everyone got to see that we have, what we feel and know is the best university on the planet. I mean, the setting for game day, you guys have seen probably a million of those. It's hard to find a better one. The energy that the students brought, the faculty brought, everybody. We got to highlight our president, our chair, the board. We got to highlight so many people. And yeah, I didn't get to see the dive. I mean, my goal was to get there and get back to the hotel and just shut out all the noise, quite honestly. To go and handle that for our players so they didn't have to, and to make sure that my messaging there was consistent with what we talk about. I didn't want to go there and make it all about levity and whatnot, and I know it's an opportunity to do that, but I felt that, it was an honor. Thank God for the opportunity that, we had that showcase here, but I have no idea if I answered your question. I just really didn't know what you wanted out of it. I guess he dove. Was he okay? Because that guy, and the little time I was there, I can tell you he's awesome. He's completely out of his mind.
Coach, I know a lot of people now start looking ahead to Florida State. Did you guys come out of this one relatively healthy?
I mean, it's tough to tell. I mean, there's some guys that were banged up. Sampson went down for a little bit. He's playing great football for us. You don't want to see linemen go down. We had a couple guys that I thought would be more ready to play today. I know you guys always ask about JoJo and Jordan, and they're better. It was the right call to do what we did, and especially with the bye week coming up. To play in a game like this, you got to be full throttle. You got to be at least to a certain percentage. We really thought we could be there the last couple weeks. We haven't gotten there. But now we have a bye week to do so. But you also have to prepare for a very unique scheme and going for our first road game, which we haven't. We've been at home for 4 weeks straight, which has been an unbelievable advantage and opportunity. So we will see tomorrow, but hopefully we're in decent shape.
We've got time for a few more. We're going to go to Duke Elaine.
Coach, 2/3 of the way to the state championship, what does it mean to you to win the state of Florida, and how quickly do you turn the page and start thinking about Florida State after a win like this?
Pretty quickly, I mean, coaches, by the time you're in the car, you're watching the computer and you're grading the film. For those guys in the locker room, like I told them, they're a special group. They need to be recognized, and probably more than anybody, the scout team needs to be recognized. Those guys get after it, and we push those guys. And when you got to run 24-plus successive plays, and there's not a lot of substitution, you got to give a really realistic look to your team and the reward. You know what the reward is? That celebrating with your teammates. So we thought it was really important to recognize them. We always find it really important to go around and congratulate everyone in the locker room because everyone had a piece in it, right? From equipment to sports science to nutrition, whatnot. And we are starting to understand the importance of just pushing away all the noise, all the junk, because It's never been a part of it. It will never be a part of it. And when you watch the tape tomorrow, there's a lot of stuff that we need to get better at. And what we want to do requires us, and I want to use that word requires us to get a whole lot better. So.
We're going to go to Dave High from the Sun Sentinel.
Mario,
Yeah, gotcha.
13-7.
We'll get to Susan. For all the torture you put me through, we're going to put
In the fourth quarter, you guys had a drive, 10 runs, 3 passes, went down the field. Did you tell the offensive line basically to go take over the game?
We tell them that, we tell them that ad nauseum every day of their life. They wanted to. I think Inez Cooper and CeCe Mainoa, they had it made up in their minds that this week it was going to be important for them to send a message, not verbally, but with their style of play and the way they were going to finish blocks and chase defenders. And they got their opportunity. They wanted their opportunity. And we were having our difficulties on offense, so to be able to lean on them and them lean on their training and their conditioning, I thought that was awesome.
How important is it to have 2 running backs as valuable and who work together like Marty and Mark do?
It's actually important to have 5 on your roster. It really is, because those guys get banged up. Some guys need time to develop. I don't think there's a roster in America that goes into camp with less than 5 scholarship guys or more, but the way those 2 guys work together, they got a lot of size and power. They're both 220 plus, and they run behind their pads, and as the game goes on and wears on, those guys are really hard to tackle.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Blue Dog. Good to see you, buddy. Guys, thank you very much.
And Carson, be able to get this win, be able to start 4-0. What do they mean today to see collective effort, especially when in some spots maybe weren't up to what you guys wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great team win right there. Our defense played out of their mind, honestly. Our O-line physically imposed their will on their defense, and you look at Marty and Mark tonight. I personally, I think that's the best running back duo in the country, and we haven't even seen Lyle that much with injury. So, those 3 together, man, it's special, and I think they showed that tonight, and it was a great team win. That's a really good team that we just played.
How good is it to be able to lean on the rest of your teammates when maybe a night isn't going the way that you would want it to go individually?
Yeah, nothing's ever going to go your way every single night, right? We had a couple mishaps here and there on offense. We kind of found a lull there in the middle of the game. Sometimes it's going to be a gritty game, especially it's rainy, it's wet, it's a physical ball game, right? And honestly, I don't know how many rushing yards we had, but we kind of ran it down their throat there at the end, and finished physically with great effort. And in the face of adversity, we showed what our team looked like. We really haven't faced much adversity this year, right? Tonight was really the first time that I think we kind of had to, and our team banded together and showed that in the face of adversity, we're going to keep pushing, we're not going to give up, and when we needed it, we got it done. So I'm really proud of these guys, really proud of the win.
Carson, I know you guys look at every opponent, you take every opponent seriously, but you played for 2 schools now, both are big rivals of Florida. So just to end your college career 3-0 against Florida, just how does that feel?
It feels really good. It feels really, really good. Obviously, I grew up a Florida fan, but now I've been to 2 schools that Florida is a huge rival of, so I'm not the biggest fan of the Gators anymore. So, but man, although not a fan, I have the utmost respect for them. That defense is really good. They only had given up 2 touchdowns coming into tonight, and again, we ran the ball really, really well. It was a rainy game. It was about ball security. It's about physically imposing our will on them, and I think we did that. But that's not to say that they played a great game. That's a really, really good team. So I'm really proud of our guys, really proud of the win. It's a really good win, and, we'll celebrate this one and then go into the bye week and try to fix things and get better.
You had a bit of a tough stretch there, especially in the middle 2 quarters. Was it something that UF was doing on defense? Was it, something that you were a little bit off in your mechanics or something like that? Just what was the issue there?
Yeah, they're a really good defense. What Ron Roberts does, that's my 3rd time playing them. I played them in 2023 at Auburn. I played him last year, obviously at Florida, and then this year. He does a lot of things that challenge you, right? There's never going to be an easy throw on the field, really. And there's guys running really every single which way once you get to third down. Like, he makes third downs really challenging. So, again, there's things that we can do to execute better. But, you know, really the game plan tonight was let's be physical, let's get a win. And I thought we executed that very well. There's a lot of things that we can be better at, you know, in the pass game. And obviously that starts with me, and I'll take full accountability of that. But, you know, we'll go into the bye week, fix those things, and then, you know, keep striving to get better throughout the year.
Carson, it was a bit of a scuffle today, but you're 13-7. You're at about the 20-yard line, and you have a dump off in the flat to Marty Brown. He catches it behind his back. Pretty much it goes for like 28 yards. What did that do for your offense? Because at that point it seemed to be a little rough, and then from that point on it was grounding, pounding them the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was a big moment in the game. We kind of were a little bit stagnant there. There's a couple plays that I maybe could have made, you know, kind of in that middle part that I didn't. But, you know, that play, we had a play on there playing match quarters, and the backer added late, and our running back got out because we ID'd that back. Sorry, I might be speaking like foreign language to some people. But the backer added when the running back looked like he was going to block, but we had ID'd the backer already, and then he leaked out. I kind of was looking out of the corner of my eye because they had been doing it the whole night. So dumped it off to him. He made a great catch, and then that kind of catapulted us there at the end. And then obviously the defense making huge plays kind of added that momentum onto the offensive side of the ball. Momentum is a real thing, and really proud of the way our defense played tonight, and just making plays when we needed to.
3 more questions. Brian, we'll start with you.
Carson, their quarterback DJ Lagway is taking a lot of heat from their fans about his performances. In general, what's it like to be the starting quarterback and have to deal with the ups and downs of that position?
You know, that's a great question. I'm happy you asked that question. I know DJ personally. This offseason, when I was recovering from, you know, my injury and whatnot, we are with the same, you know, trainer, PT people. So all of April and May, I mean, I saw him almost every single day. You know, he's a great kid and very, very talented. And a lot of the times it's a tough road being a quarterback, especially for a big name school, right? He's super talented. He's very gifted in what he's able to do. And he's a great kid, and he works his butt off. So, you know, it's always hard because I've been through it as well. You know, they love you, they hate you, and then they love you. You know, and you just can't define your self-worth off of that, right? And again, I'm very Christ-centered. I have a great relationship with, you know, God and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And that's where I find my worth. That's where I go to find my worth. And, you know, I believe that He's the same exact way. And, you know, you fight through it, you get through it. And, again, things aren't always going to be easy. Things are going to be difficult and hard. But it's more about how you respond to adversity than, you know, what's happening to you. So, obviously, he's a good friend of mine. I wish him the best of luck in the future. And they have a really good team. They're going to turn it around as the season goes.
Carson, obviously looking ahead a little bit, just talk about, you know, 2 weeks you guys go to Tallahassee, you know, and just, how do you guys prepare for, you know, first road game of the season, and then your excitement about playing in that game, you know, for the first time, another huge rivalry game?
Yeah, well, I think it's really cool. You know, we get USF, we get Florida, we get FSU, right? We get 3 Florida teams. You know, it's kind of this, like, round robin of Florida teams. We get a bye week, but, again, I always like to view the bye week as a work week, right? I know Coach Cristobal is on the same exact mindset. We're going to work this week, right? This is not a week off. This is not time to play games. This is not time to take a step back. Like, this is time to work, right? Like, let's work. Let's get better at the things that we need to get better at so that when we head into Tallahassee, we're ready, not only physically but mentally, right? So it's a work week next week. Obviously, we'll start looking at Florida State. We'll fix some of you know, the issues and maybe mishaps that we had this game, but we'll start looking at Florida State, start preparing for them. You know, excited for that matchup. You know, I've never played in that stadium. I think that's a cool thing about being in the ACC now. Heading into ACC play, playing a lot of different teams that I've never played before. I'm getting to play at places I've never played before. So really looking forward to that. Really excited.
Awesome. Thank you, Carson.
Good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Marty
you just take us through the touchdown that you got in the fourth quarter to sort of put the game away? And how good did that feel, especially after the touchdown to start the second half got taken away from you?
Yeah, it felt great. You know, we came out slow second half and, you know, try to get something going, and to finally get something going on that last drive there, that touchdown, you know, it meant a lot, and it boosted us, you know, throughout the rest of the fourth quarter.
Mohammed, defense tonight locked the Gators down. Talk about the swarming mentality of your defense, because you guys in the first half especially, I mean, were swarming them the entire half, pretty much the entire game outside of one drive. Talk about that performance.
That's just something Coach Heatherman preaches, you know, swarm. In practice, in the games, that's what we practice it every day, so in the game it translates, you know. And guys just going out there and giving it their all every play.
What did you see on the pass rush side of things? That you guys sacked them, I think, 4 times, and their QB only had like 60 passing yards tonight. Like, just what was working so well for you guys in the pass rush?
Well, it's easy to, you know, get a good pass rush when you got 2 of the best pass rushers in the country, so, you know. But we were just playing within the defense, doing our job, honestly.
Marty, talk a little bit about your progression and role in the passing game. You know, obviously you're making a lot of great plays in the running game, but you're also making them in the passing game too, which I think is an evolution kind of for you. So.
Yeah, you know, in practice, we practice, you know, catching the ball a lot, and, you know, it shows up in the game. To be a back in the NFL, you got to do both, so that's really something I worked on during the off season, and it's showing up.
Okay, yeah, I know we asked you a little bit about the touchdown. I thought it was a touchdown that was called back. How frustrating was that for you? It looked like you powered right through. We were surprised.
Yeah, it was frustrating, but, you know, we came away with the win, and, you know, it was just a blessing to be out there in general. But, you know, refs aren't perfect. You know, we're human beings. It's all good.
And how nice is it to know that if, let's say, the passing game is stalling a little bit or not as good as it usually is, that the running backs can come through in the clutch? How
Sure, yeah. You know, the way we show up every day and compete against each other, the RB room is just like a brotherhood. You know, we hold each other accountable day in and day out, and it's, you know, it's nothing to show up during game day and give it our all.
For both of you guys, 4-0 through, you guys sweep through non-conference play, you have a bye week coming up before FSU. Just where do you feel like things have, what's impressed you the most about the start, and then how do you guys handle the bye week that's coming up?
Yeah, you know, we came out with a, you know, fast start to the season, obviously, and, you know, this bye week, we just got to keep our heads down, you know, not getting the outside noise to us and poisoning us. You know, we just got to keep playing our physical brand of football, Hurricane football.
Marty, you know, you guys hit that rut on offense for like second, third quarter, you know, a little bit stagnant, things not kind of clicking. Who were the guys kind of keeping you guys fired up, keeping you engaged, keeping you, like, you know, not getting too down on yourselves or anything through that time of the game?
Everybody on the sideline, you know, and then just having a bunch of dogs on the field, knowing that, you know, no matter what's happening, you know, we're gonna make a way and push through.
Mo, for you, just to piggyback off of Adam, they're going through that offensive rut. What's the message on the sideline to continue that defensive push and just make sure that y'all don't bend and not break?
Just do your job. Like, for us, we just going out there having fun. Like, for me, being here is honestly a blessing. Like, I've never been in a position like this. I'm going 4-0 on the number 4 ranked team in the country. Like, it's a blessing, you feel me? And be able to play with dogs and have other dogs around me, it's like, just thank God every single day. But to your question, we just do our job, you know, play fundamental football, play fast, play physical, and, yeah, swarm.
Your last question in the back there. Muhammad, today's college football is less physical with the targeting calls and all these things, but you, Poise, Scott, you guys seem to play really physical and intense. So what is Coach Heatherman's message to you guys to get you guys to play reckless like that without thinking about the
ESV, excitement, swarm, and violence. Like, go out there every single day. You get to play football, you know? Like, we get to. With some people that wish they could play this game still. Some people that, you know, are at home that wish they were out here, that wish they played for the Kings. We get to do this, you know? So we just keep that same mentality every single day and attack every single day with that same mentality. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
want to go ahead?
Oh, Markel, hey Markel, how nice was it to see those guys run so well at the end in the clutch?
That we lean on them for, that we need them for. Yeah, we're good.
Markel, just for the offense to finish the way they obviously you guys had the run in the second and third quarter, just what stood out about you about the way you guys were able to turn things on when it mattered?
Man, we just keep laying on the routine plays. We as the offensive line, we tell the running backs, hey, just trust us. So that's what they did, and it resulted in the win.
Good Adam over here.
Markel, just how important is this bye week coming up just to kind of, rest any bumps and bruises, things like that, work on FSU for a couple of weeks? Just how important is this bye week at this point in the year?
Yeah, of course, we focus on FSU. They're a really good football team, but we're more focused on us just getting recovered and everything, and be 100% so we can go and execute.
Fourth quarter is 13-7. You guys take the ball, go right down the field. I mean, talk about smash mouth football in that fourth quarter and dominating the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So,
talk about dominating the fourth quarter in the offensive line. Smash mouth football.
Yeah, we just getting our feet in the ground, getting our head up, and just run behind our pass. And we know Mark Fletcher. We know what's name Marty. We know they run it hard, they run it angry. So we're gonna do what we need to do.
Talking to the defensive lineman saying we're running you over right now?
I don't do no time. I don't do no time. I let them 73 do that.
So tell us a little bit about, you had a big crowd, a lot of crowd involvement and a lot of noise. And tell us about how that sparked you guys and helped you guys,
yeah,
the crowd.
Yeah, just me personally, just coming up in the week, I just feel like I wasn't gonna let this moment pass by me, and I feel the rest of us to do the same thing. We got a lot of hate towards them, and so we just went out and did what we needed to do.
Anything else from Marco? Great, thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ruben Bain, so with you, Jordan.
Ruben, just hold them over 13 on third down. Just you ever been part of a team do something like that to an offense?
Not that I remember it wrong, but I didn't realize that till I got told in the locker room. We was just out there playing football, honestly, and just listening to Coach Heatherman, practicing how we play, playing how we practice, I'm sorry. And next thing you know, we 0 for 13 on third down.
Ruben, you guys played lights out to begin with, then they had their one drive where they scored, and then you guys came back and kind of showed how strong you are. Just talk about how resilient you guys are as a group to be able to come back after they score and shut them down again.
Very resilient. It's just a little hiccup. Football is football. They on scholarship too, so they're going to make some plays. But after that drive, we came back to the drawing board, came on the sideline, fixed everything, got the communication right, and came out playing the football that we were supposed to play. Really, that wasn't supposed to happen, but, it's football. We're going to go to the next play, and we perfected it from here on out.
Ruben, I think you guys have talked kind of all through the season so far about how it's a privilege to get a chance to rush the passer. Obviously had a lot of chances tonight. You guys were constantly in Lagway's space. Just what was working so well for you guys in the pass rush?
I have to say our talent, man. We going in, we work hard all week throughout practice with Coach JT, Coach D-Lou, Coach Heatherman with the scheme. He schemed it up real well for us to allow us to go in the game and just play our best ability, and that's what we did. There's nothing different than what we do in practice, honestly. We just get after it every day, after every play we can.
Yeah, again, I want to go back to DJ Lagway. Last year at the end of that game, he looked pretty good for Florida. What was it that you were actually able to learn from last year that you applied to this game? Because this team came out from the outset like assassins when you stopped this team with 3 plays for lost yards.
Yeah, like I say, man, we just fly around, we communicate, we trust in our coaches. That's the same thing we do all week in practice. So when we get on Hard Rock, it's no different from what we doing on Green Tree. Just trusting our coaches and play football 100 miles per hour.
Ruben, just talk about, looking ahead, Florida State in 2 weeks. how do you get ready first road game? And I mean, that's going to be a huge, very rowdy atmosphere there. Huge game for them. Just how do you guys, use the bye week to kind of get ready for that game?
Like you say, use the bye week. We don't treat the bye week like it's just a week off. It's really just a work week for us to regather ourselves, see what we do good at, see what we do bad at, and come in with the mindset to have the one-and-no mentality. I mean, no matter who we playing, we want to have a one-and-no mentality, just the next person up. And no matter who on the schedule, where we playing now, it could be a grocery parking lot, we still going to get the job done.
Ruben, the amount that you were getting after DJ and hitting him, did you feel like that you guys were in his head?
You can say that. I feel like we could did a little bit more, honestly. But yeah, you kind of could see some panic and a little bit of things like that. But other than that, just flying around playing football, doing what D linemen do. I feel like that's any quarterback. They're gonna have some kind of worry when you always got somebody in front of your face.
Knowing that you obviously want to win every rivalry game, but knowing that this was the last one against these guys in particular, and we've already heard Coach and some of your teammates talking about the hate for Florida, like how good does it feel that you got the win in the last scheduled one and who knows what will happen again?
It feels good, man. Coach Cristobal told us it might be our last time playing in a little minute, so decided to go out and do what we do. Some guys on the team lost to Florida last year. Some guys on the team beat Florida last year. So we all have mixed feelings, but the same goal and the mindset coming into the week. And like we say, 1-0 every week. No matter who on the schedule, but if it's an in-state team, you know what it is.
So after the week 1 win, you had showed the article on 300. You said he's giving you motivation. So I was wondering, is that still saved, or is there something else that gave you motivation the last few weeks?
That article not up, but there's some other stuff I got in my, my notebook. Some other stuff I got in my crib at my house. Just daily reminders to where I'm keep playing the way I play. Just playing fast, physical, playing with a reason behind me.
And then just going off of that, tell me a little about like ESV, monitor. You mentioned it earlier, just like that mindset or the motto that you guys go by.
ESV, man, coming in playing excited, swarming to the football and playing violent. We seen in that first drive, everybody, when one person on the ball, it's probably about 5, 6, 7 orange jerseys running to the ball, and that's the way Coach Hedman coaches us. He wants all 11, so he's still working on that. But we come into the building excited every day. Every time the ball is thrown, hand it off, we swarming to the ball, and every time the ball is snapped, we playing violent.
Yeah, you guys were so dominant in the first half. They only had 1 first down the entire first half. Then in the third quarter, they hit you for an 80-yard drive. What was the reaction in the defensive portion of the bench, and how did you guys kind of regroup and get it back together?
Well, it was a little confusion because we was doing so good in the first half. That's just human nature. But coming in, settling down, listening to our coaches again, and just knowing that that's the last drive. We're off the field now. We're going to have some new plays coming up. We got down and we hunkered down and we did the same thing we've been doing since the first half. Like the guys said, I don't think they had any third down conversions. Not that many first downs throughout the game. So just going in, listen to Coach Hedman, not doing more than what we do, just doing your job.
With the history between Kamani McClain and Miami, did anybody inform Carson Beck if he was going to throw an interception? Kamani was the last person we needed to catch it.
Nah, man. Nobody said no. I didn't even notice that. Honestly, I just grabbed my helmet and ran on the field. But that's crazy, man.
So, with the history of the U, violence on defense has always been one of the biggest things. Now that y'all are embracing this violence, just what does it mean to the locker room that y'all are just playing this smash mouth football and flying around?
It means a lot. Knowing that no matter what the offense is doing, the defense is going to come to play. No matter if they winning by a lot or they struggling a little bit, starting off slow, the defense from the first snap to the last, we playing violent, we playing fast, we playing physical. That's our motto. From the first whistle to the last, we're going to play the same way. And if we get tired, we got somebody next coming up that's going to do the same thing, if not better. That's Coach Hedman mindset. ESV, man. Thank y'all.
You're going to host the book again this week?